يا راغبا في كل علم نافع.
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية
زاد أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن. وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن اهتدى بهداه. أما بعد. Our topic for today's lesson is insurance. And insurance is something that is unfortunately has spread among the Muslims equivalent to how cancer does. And you rarely find any transaction, especially in the Western world, that has no insurance. Every single thing is being insured. Pop stars insure their voices, their limbs. Sportsmen insure their craft and the sport they play in. Antique owners, people insure every single thing you can think of. Nowadays, even doctors insure their practice. Why? Because of the frequency of lawsuits. And this cripples the society. It cripples people from functioning and being productive. Insurance, as we know it, has two branches: commercial and corporate. And the widely known insurance is the commercial insurance. This is what everybody knows about. You pay a premium, and this premium is a negligible amount compared to what we may compensate you if any of the damages take place. So you have life insurance. You pay a premium every year, and if the person insured dies, the beneficiaries hit the jackpot. There is medical insurance, there is property insurance, there is car insurance, all types of insurance. And the company takes the premiums, knowing that the possibility of people losing or having such damages taking place is negligible. Even some German experts say that what is given back for damages when people insure after their premiums does not even reach almost 3%. Imagine, the companies are doing 97% profit of their work, while the customers get only less than 3%. This is the commercial type of insurance, and it includes a number of haram. It includes huge ambiguity, because when a person pays the premium, he doesn't know what he will receive. I have a friend who's been insuring his cars, full insurance, not third party, no, the max, against theft, against natural disasters, against all types of insurance. And he's been doing this for about like 15 years. And he has like 3 or 4 cars. And during these 15 years, he had never had any accident. So imagine the amount of money he's paying annually, multiplied by 15, where he got 0. And there is also ambiguity upon the insurance company itself. So they're happy for a number of years collecting people's premiums, and one day earthquake happens and everything is destroyed. People want their money to be compensated. Insurance company says, we don't have that much. The insurers or the clients say, it's none of our business. So the company goes to the banks, borrows with huge amounts of interest, and pays back its clients. Also, it includes gambling, because this is a form of gambling. You pay premium, you may win the jackpot, and you may not get a thing. And it also includes riba al-fadl and riba al-nasi'ah, when you pay little and you get much, much more, and this is delayed from when you have paid. All of these factors make the commercial insurance, which is what's prevailing, haram. What is the Islamic alternative? The Islamic alternative is theoretically known as corporate insurance. What's the difference? In commercial insurance, you're paying a premium with the guarantee that you'll get an X amount for damages if something happens. And it's not none of your business whether they can afford it or not. The company is obliged. They borrow by riba, they steal, they do whatever they do. I don't care. I paid 1,000 and I was in an accident, the damages are $500,000. They're obliged to pay it off. In corporate insurance, it is not something that you pay in exchange of something you may receive. Rather, it is paying a X amount of money, call it premium, with the intention of a gift. What do you mean? See, this is an Islamic concept that was found at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, existed since that time till date in tribes and in big families, where every month you give a small donation. You don't expect anything back. It's a donation. And it's put in a pot or a portfolio. And they gather this money with conditions that all of us, the 10,000 participants who donated, did not give a premium. It's a donation to help one another. You don't expect anything of it. If, may Allah forbid, something happens to one of us, of these 10,000 contributing, that person's house was burnt to the ground, his car had an accident, someone is sick, needs medical attention, we take from this pot, from this portfolio, and give that person whatever he needs. This way, we're cooperating with the group. So we keep on giving to this person, to this person, to this person. After 7-8 months, the money depleted. We have nothing. I had a car accident. I go to the management. I show them the car report, the traffic reports for the accident. I said, I need 2,000 of repairs. And they say, sorry, love, we don't have any funds. That's not fair. I've been paying 200 for the past couple of years. He said, Akhi, you've been paying so that we would help one another. Usually, the money far exceeds the needs, like the German expert said. And they keep on piling and piling and piling, which would help the community. Theoretically speaking, this is fine, because once the money is depleted and there's nothing in the pot, in the portfolio, everybody acknowledges this and no complaints. Unfortunately, some quote-unquote corporate insurance companies claiming to be Islamic, in their policy and procedure it says that once the money is depleted, then the management is forced to go to the shareholders, borrow from them, promising them to give them shares as profit, which is camouflaging haram interest, over the next 5 years or 10 years. And this is not permissible. But again, we're talking about theoretically and what is being practiced. In theory, it is halal. The Islamic Fiqh councils, the Shaykh, the scholars, Shaykh bin Baz and others say this is permissible in theory. But unfortunately, what's being practiced has to be revisited and audited, like so many Islamic banks and so many Islamic financing companies claiming to be Islamic when actually they are not. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد.
يا راغبا في كل علم نافع
ينمو العلم ويتقدم بتقنياته ومجالاته، ومعه نطور أدواتنا في تقديم العلم الشرعي. أكاديمية زاد
أكاديمية ينبوعها صاف ليروي غلة الظمآن، وتعلم الفقه الميسر عاملا بالشرع دون تعصب لفلان. بشرى لنا زاد أكاديمية للعلم كالأزهار في البستان.